Okay, guys, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on this wonderful Sunday. We appreciate you being here. I'm Michael from Ontario, and we have a special presentation here today. I'm not going to speak first, which might be the first time I've ever not speaking first, but that's all good. That's fine, because we have a special guest with us today, and he's a very busy guy. He works with Paraiba, and so we want to give him a little bit of time. Please mute yourself if you're not.
You're on.
Appreciate it.
You're on, right? Oh, okay. All righty. That's all.
Thank you very much. So, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Paraiba today. If you're brand new and you want to learn about Paraiba, we will have a presentation here for you today. We're going to show you how to leverage your time, create an extra income stream over and above what you're doing now. And it's working tremendously well for thousands of us. But before we do that, we're going to bring up our guest speaker first. And we are going to talk about 3 different income streams here today when I get into the presentation. But we have a fourth revenue stream coming for Paraiba. And it has to do with the privacy tech space. A lot of you might be reading headlines, seeing what's going on with the various censorship on various platforms like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and total lack of privacy on these as well, which is a big problem. Companies like WhatsApp are sharing your data. This is a big problem, right? Facebook is sharing your data. That's why it's free. So this is a big issue, guys, where we don't know where our information is going. And so for the past 7-8 months, Paraiba has been working with our guest speaker here today on apps that will be life-changing for us, because we'll be able to, number one, use a service that's private, encrypted, and not sharing our data with other people. And number two, we'll be able to monetize it for us and for the company to have a revenue stream. So it's very exciting. I really like this, because I think it's needed. It seems like the perfect timing to me right now for something like this. So I had a quick conversation with Staale Fossberg, who was our guest speaker today, over this last week. And he was nice enough to say, hey, I'll take a bit of time and come on and share with some updates about this, because we've heard a little bit from him over the past few months, but not recently. So I wanted to have him share what's going on with this. So briefly, Staale, and I don't have my stuff right in front of me right now, but I'll try to do it by memory. But I know that Staale is a journalist. He's been involved in various tech startups out of Asia. And he's also even been on the radio. He's been a radio personality too. But he is, and I don't want to call him the guru, because he didn't like that word, but he's the guy behind this great project here with Paraiba, working with our CEO, Eric, to get this going. And there's lots of great announcements for it. I was going to call him a former Viking as well, because he's from Norway, but he said, you know, once you're a Viking, you're always a Viking. So yeah, yeah, there we go. So Staale, my friend, take it away, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael. And we kind of emphasize that we are Vikings, together with the Swedes and the Danes, by the way. We are not many, but we're strong. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, and thank you for the radio theme, because they say I have a typical radio face. So it makes it easier. What we have here under this umbrella, we call ParaibaTalk, and that covers most of the communication platforms you actually need. And like Michael said in the beginning, you are being monitored today. Big tech, big data. They know exactly who you are, where you are, what you say, what you write, what you look at. And they can even hear you when your device is placed elsewhere, in your house or in your office. You can, for example, just say Ferrari 3 times to your telephone, and suddenly we'll have Ferrari ads popping up. It's kind of scary, but regretfully, most people are not aware of it. They just tag along and say, it's just fine. It is not. We need to make sure that your content, your private life, your business life, everything belongs to you and not somebody else. That means if I call Michael, I'd like that to be a private call. If I send him an encrypted file, I like to make sure that he's the only one who can open it and see it. If I have a webinar or a call with him, I like to make that private, to hash out the man in the middle, or anyone else that would like to have a grip at your content. So the ecosystem is quite simple. We do have a Paraiba secure communications and chat application. It has no data mining. That means it is not monitoring or reading anything or listening into anything. And no ads, of course. Full privacy on that one. And you can already go into both Google Play Store and to App Store now and download the app. It has the bells and whistles you need now. You can do calling, video recording, voice recording, and of course, normal chatting. Building an app is quite a project. It is layer upon layer of security and new applications to get out there to make sure that we have the right product in the market. We are now in a final beta phase. It's working. You can call, you can talk, and within the coming week, it will bloom and be finished for everyone. But you can download it already now because you can automatically update it yourself. If you have a new phone, it will do so automatically. If not, you can check for updates in the Google Play Store or App Store. Then we have something called Paraiba Parcel, which is a 100% secure email and file sharing system. It's decentralized. You don't get any spam. Nobody's looking into it. I'll show you quickly afterwards what it looks like right now. And we also have made a Paraiba conference room, which is a 100% private room with assumed quality, where you can do conferences without data mining. Hence, we're not collecting nor selling any information. The platform on which we're talking right now, Zoom, if you go and Google it just a little bit, you will see they have been selling customers to third parties, which is not okay. This is just an image of the Paraiba Parcel login site, but I'll go into the actual site and show you. This is the login site for the Paraiba conference system. And of course, you go to either App Store or Google Play. You can do that now on your telephone and download the chat application, the Messenger, somebody call it that, but it's a chat app. Looks a bit like WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, behaves in a secure manner, and doesn't sell your soul to the devil. That's in short what we do. It seems it's not a lot, but it's a lot. Building the background and the whole ecosystem here has been a task that me being an optimist thought was done a bit faster. But building a secure private platform and all these verticals took a little time. But now is the time also to show it to everyone. You're among the first one to hear about it and see something. I'll show you something just to make sure that you know we are live. So there is a landing site. Hang on, I'll show it to you in a little bit. If you go into ParaibaTalk.com, that's a simple landing site that just explains the products itself. You'll see there on the top line, there's a Paraiba chat, there's a Paraiba Parcel, and a Paraiba conference. This is both in English and German for now. Of course, it will be multiple languages as the Paraiba community grows. You will find some very simple, small texts explaining exactly what these different products can do for you and can do for us. In short, then, you're looking at a very simple email program. We choose to keep it simple because I've been using both Gmail and Outlook quite a bit myself, and it contains far more bells and whistles than I actually need. You need something to be able to send and mail an attachment, and to do so in a secure manner. And you need to be held free for any kind of spam or malware or anything that messes up your inbox. If I look at my Hotmail, I mean, 60% of what I receive is bullshit. And also based on how I consume and use my devices, basically. So I'm a victim of my own stupidity, so to speak, and so are most of us as well. But this one is spam-free. It works like an email, it talks like an email, and it is an email. You can simply compose email, send it. You can also do a few things here, which is kind of cool. You can allow it to be forwarded or not. You can allow your recipient to edit it or not. You can add your own terms and conditions. And if that is a NDA or a whatever you want to make sure, and it could be out of legal reasons as well, to make sure that your content come across according to your terms and conditions. Quite simple. So, but the cooler thing here, you can ask me, we will, by the way, within the next 14 days, we will do another UI, user interface, because we tested this on a small group of 25 people, and there was like, less than half were struggling a little bit. And that means it needs to be simplified. It needs to be so simple that no one asks any questions while start using it. But it contains more security than, for example, WeTransfer. WeTransfer or Dropbox is just a simple file transfer system. We don't encrypt your file before we send it. Here we have to go through that process of encrypting things before we send it. And it needs a little more action, but we're simplifying this process now as we speak. So let's call this parcel a container. It's a digital container that from my platform here in the Paraiba Parcel universe is my kind of airport. And this will be a decentralized mail system within the community. So if I want to send something to Michael, then he is a trusted recipient, basically. So we keep it decentralized. Once we tap into the big tech and big data, we are again exposed to whatever they want to do with us. Either monitor, sell, or share with others. And we don't want that. And this I think we're starting a trend right now, because I'm looking at other companies and other communities out there, and they want to do the same thing. They want to keep their privacy. They want to have their content under their control. And that is what we're doing. And if you ask me, we're a little ahead of the curve when it comes to this in the market. But in this parcel, I can send a video file, a sound clip, PDF, PowerPoint, Word document, whatever. But the cool thing is, once I have packed it into this parcel, then it becomes just a gibberish code. So if by chance anyone should have access to that while this is traveling from me to Michael, for example, they will not be able to see the content at all. If a pro hacker is getting into it, he will only see like a huge gibberish code, not the content. And if that is a X-ray or a little movie, film clip I want to share with Michael, they will have no access. It is only when it lands on the trusted recipient's airport, I call it the airport, that it will be able to be opened, because it contains a certain DNA. Only trusted recipients can open from this parcel and mail system. And then we have, the conference system, which is in the last demo round. You can use it already now for up to 30 people. It will be able to scale more and take more, but we will start now because 30 people covers about more than 90% of most conferences. Like today, we are a bit more, but if you have your normal business talks or your team calls, normally people are plus minus 10 people. And it covers the work conference system as of now. And this is quite simple. We left out all the complicated things. What do you actually need? You need a voice over IP system that is safe. Yes, you may want to have a recording function. We will add that. But in short, you will just get to a user interface that looks like this. And that's it. You have a few functions here. You can chat, you can share your screen, and you also have the ability, like in the beginning of this meeting, where you go, please mute yourself, please mute yourself. No, you can mute all participants with a click of a button. And if people want to talk, they can unmute themselves. So it has a few simple features, but not much more, because you don't need much more. Yeah, and people say, oh, I want to have some cool background. I want to have my company logo behind it. Yeah. That is not important right now. The more you add to technology, the more you expose yourself. So keeping it safe, clean, and simple That is my mantra in this case. We will add, because we have a lot of feedback from the likes of, for example, Martin in Germany, that has been using it quite a bit, that to have the ability to record your sessions. Of course, we'll add that as well. But you're looking at a working product. So when you go into the ParaibaTalk site, I'm a little too... ParaibaTalk, please do that, ParaibaTalk.com, and you click on the different products. The Parcel is the mail, the conference system. Today, we use just a demo, username and password, until we synchronize all products with each other. So if you want to use the conference system, you use demo as username and demo as password with small letters, no capital letters. And I urge you to test it. Test it with your own group, with your own team. And I would like to have feedback as well, because we're in the process now where feedback is very important to us. But first and foremost, what used mainly all of us is what happens on the telephone. So feel free to go into either Google Play Store or to App Store, and you download the Paraiba Messenger and start using it. Quite simple. Yeah, Michael, that's about it from me. It's of the people, for the people, for freedom and privacy.
Indeed. Excellent. Appreciate that quick update, Staale. There are a couple questions. Can you take a couple of questions here?
Sure.
Okay, great. I see some people writing over here. Apparently, you're going to be the most valuable person aside from Eric Elliott, so that's good. Herwig says, Staale, is it possible to schedule a conference?
Yes, it will be in a matter of a few days, yes. And also to cover it with password and send invitations. The question is also, you want to have your, like in the case of Martin, he has his permanent invitation link to a Zoom meeting, which is the same always. Yes, of course. We need to simplify it. So you can use the same link for each meeting we have. Yes. Give us a few days.
Okay. And then there's one more here. Can Staale speak to Paraiba's partnership with Google, and if that may have impact on decentralization and privacy? Google is listed as a private partner on the Private World website homepage.
Excuse me?
Can Staale speak to Paraiba's partnership with Google, and if it may have an impact on decentralization and privacy? Do we have a partnership with Google?
Me not. Never.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so on that one. Okay. Can anything, or maybe we're not ready to talk about this, and that's absolutely fine. Can anything be said on the monetization of this product, or is that best left for a future?
No, I can reveal something. Of course, we want to weaponize the systems. For now, because we have been in a better phase right now, we are not charging anyone for anything here. But for Zoom, if you have a version you would like to spend more than 40 minutes on, you have to pay something. It's like $99 a month plus something. And without giving any promise nor saying it's going to be like this, it's looking like we want to be cheaper, more affordable, and keep it simple. I don't want to have too many versions that you can have, like a Pro, a Medium Pro, and a Ultra Pro, and a Take Me to Kathmandu version. No, I'd like to have one version where you can speak for as long as you want, up to a certain amount of people, and pay at least half the money you pay with Zoom. Because what the big tech and big data companies are doing, they're charging far too much. And that is why they all have private yachts and private planes. Right now, big tech, big data is exceeding oil and gas, and it's becoming the world's biggest revenue platforms. And of course, the kickback and what they earn is far more than you ever would believe. It is fair, and this is ethical again, not to overcharge. They do. When you pay X amount with the likes of Zoom or anyone else out there, you pay more than you have to. But the monetization of this, of course, then I would like to have a system where the users start paying for it, that it drizzles back into the community. Micro fees getting thrown back at the users.
Yes, I love that idea. I mean, if we can get a portion of what Telegram has, I mean, they've got 500 million members. If we had even 0.1 of that, I mean, it would be tremendous.
We are like Robin Hood. And I want to attack from from underneath. I'm not challenging the big tech and all the big data right now. I think let's start in the small. Let's start with communities like us. Yeah, and of course, when people want to join this business, we can also use the communication platforms as kind of a marketing weapon. If you want to attract people to it, they can start using the communication tools, and then you can start to talk about the business as well. It will be made ready for blockchain and decentralized product as well, like DeFi. It will be made ready for trading facilities. It will be a multi-function app, not only talk and video and voice and chat, but also built and made ready for secure wallets with private keys. And it will take on DeFi, decentralized finance, which is challenging the analog banking system as we see today. So yeah, but this is going to take a little time. First, now we need to get the products out there flying, so it works. We need to scale. We need to get feedback. Looking at, for example, Skype, which has been around for 100 years right now, it's still having bugs. You can't expect to have a bug-free tech product the first few months. We will experience small things and issues, but we're building it as safe as it should be. That's the most important thing.
Phenomenal. Stefan's asking if the chat app will be available for desktop.
It will be. We need to make a native application for it. Yes, that's the next step. It's on the roadmap for us. Yeah.
Okay. People are asking about cost, but we don't know cost yet, guys. I mean, that'll come, but as Staale said, it's not going to be as much as the others out there. Okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know about that token. Yes. Okay. When sending, Dr. Shea, when sending an email from our system to say Gmail, would Gmail be able to see what's in the email? Well, yeah.
If you send a secure parcel and you send it to a recipient with a Gmail, no, they can't. You have to pull it out of the environment and open it in our platform. Hence, it's on your computer, not in your Google Mail system. No. Very
interesting. Okay, great. Any other questions, guys, for Staale while he's here? You want to unmute yourself, you can.
Yeah, I've got a question. So will the system be linked to your Gmail account? So basically, when you receive emails from, say, customers or prospects or any participant, could we have this linked to the actual Paraiba email? Is that possible?
Yeah, if you get an email or a parcel from our system, from my system, you get a notification. If I want to send something to your Gmail, for example, you just get a notification. We don't reveal the content on your Gmail account. You need to come to my platform, to your platform, to open it. But
so basically,
we need to regretfully we need to tap into the existing communication highways, which is Telegram, WhatsApp, Messenger, and the likes of all of them. And we have made our system compatible with all of it. So basically, this parcel could be sent through any kind of platform, app or browser-based. But it needs to be pulled out of that territory to be opened only on your secure platform. That's why I call it kind of an airport. So we're creating a decentralized system of airports where we can fly amongst each other and create our own community where we safely can communicate. Of course, we need to notify people on other platforms. We need to piggyback on that until we're ready to fly by our own, which will take a few years.
Okay, great. I think that's brilliant. That's very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Staale, will a person have to have a Paraiba membership or be in Paraiba in order to use our services here with ParaibaTalk?
That's a decision for Eric, but if I get my will, basically, I think everybody should be free to use this. If you have anyone, any friends, families, whatever outside this community, make them start using it.
Indeed.
Of course, it is a way to pull them into the business as well.
Agreed, for sure.
Yeah.
Someone's asking about a token that's associated with this. What will its goal be? And they're asking if it'll be on our exchange, unique exchange. I don't know anything about that.
No, of course not. Whomever is asking that question doesn't know either. So I will say nothing about that now.
Okay. That's something for the future, potentially. All right. Any other questions, guys, for Staale? Okay. Staale, I really appreciate you, man, for coming on. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job with this. Every one of us looks forward to this because there's so many, it's what I love about Paraiba. There's so many aspects here with the things they're bringing out, all these services that we can use and benefit us, right? And benefit other people. I love that. I love that so much. And this is going to be a big one for us. Doc, okay, go ahead. One last question. Unmute yourself, Doc.
Staale, is there a possibility that eventually Paraiba will
Doc, sorry, we can't hear you, buddy. We can't hear you.
All right.
Try again. No, try again. Try again.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was wondering, in the future, is it possible that Paraiba might truly privatize this and make it their own rather than depending on Google?
Anything is possible. I see this as a way to go out there and reach a far bigger audience that are not accustomed to network marketing or any other kind of business. People that have no idea about blockchain or cryptocurrencies, you can kind of attract them using communications technology to pull them in. We will scale piece by piece, and we need to piggyback on. We need to be an app store and Google Play Store right now because that's where people go shopping. But as soon as people have downloaded our technology, we move as far away as possible to keep it safe within our platforms and our community. We're not in a position to challenge the big ones yet. But who knows when Life 2.0 is popping up after this crazy pandemic? Let's see.
Indeed. There is one more. There's people that are going to be downloading this private chat. How do you add contacts on the private chat?
I think you can sync your contact list right now.
Okay, so you sync your contact list.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also suggest, because people, and that is my experience, that people, not only with us, but with all kind of apps, basically have a hard time getting through it sometimes. I suggest we do a schooling session. We schedule a call where we go through all the bits and pieces.
Yeah, good idea. That'll happen.
Yeah, and then because you need to duplicate this information regardless in your community, into your teams. So I think it's smart that people present here and other ones show up for example, for the academy. The guys have started this academy with the purpose of schooling people and to create less support, because learning it first is smarter.
Yes, 100% agree. Yeah, very excited for the academy coming up here.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right, we're going to stop with the questions right there. Appreciate everyone who asked questions. Thank you very much. This is an exciting service that's coming soon, guys. I guess in the next few weeks, right, Staale, we're going to see some more aspects to these various platforms begin to launch. Yes. End of this month, we'll be able to use and enjoy all the platforms in a user-friendly way. Mm-hmm. We're talking. Yeah, it's this week coming now. It's the last inch. Fantastic. All right, coming up, very exciting, good stuff. We'll be watching for that. Appreciate it, Staale. Thank you so much.